Greetings, Enlightened Ones. Thank you for joining your generic store brand Reverend. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my break into the acting industry. So yeah, many of you guys that already have been watching my channel, or maybe some of you new guys that have just kind of stumbled upon my video, well, thank you for trying to watch me. But acting has always been one of those arts that I feel like I'm put on this earth to do. I've always thought I was supposed to be a creative type of person. I've tried my damnedest to implement creativity in all aspects of much of my videos, or at least a little bit in any way. At the same time, though, I feel like my depression and my constant anxiety gets in the way of me being at my full potential, which is exactly why I've decided to push myself. And to be frankly honest with you guys, I'm just tired of the repetition in my life of just constantly eat, sleep, shit, work, breathe, fuck, that kind of thing. I'm really tired of a routine that I have. I mean, obviously it's healthy to have some amount of routine, of course, but what I'm struggling the most with in my current life, I guess, or in my 30s, whatever the hell you want to call it, is that I wouldn't call it a midlife crisis. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm struggling to find what it is that is my purpose in life and what I need to be doing. And honestly, that's where acting comes in. I need to just go back to my roots of when I was growing up in my early teens, where I was doing a lot of really stupid comedic skits that my mother would help me do, which eventually I do have some of the old projects that I have from like at least over 10 years ago that I need to release. I actually had another channel too that I don't even know how to get back into anymore, and I probably should have done something with it and continued it in any way. But if you guys ever look up I Got This Productions and look at Terrorizing Your Independence, that is some of my old work. That is the me that I wish I could bring back out of myself, and one of these days it will come. I feel like I'm getting to that point in my life. It's just a slow and gradual change, and I feel like I am making some sort of progress. And as such progress, I decided to have a wild hair up my ass and decided to join a workshop, acting workshop. It's not really like auditioning or anything like that. It's more like, how do you get your foot in the door in terms of the industry, and kind of giving you a little bit of some insight as to what the industry is about, voiceovers, voice acting for that matter, camera positioning, what they call out to you on camera, those sort of things, and how to actually read a script. In saying getting my foot in the door as well, I am trying to attend more of these workshops as well. I'm also trying to attend festivals, film festivals. I know Houston has a pretty big horror film festival that's going to be coming up in August, and I will be attending that. But yeah, I will be attending the Houston Horror Film Festival, and I will probably be cosplaying as Legion from Dead by Daylight. Even though I don't play Dead by Daylight anymore, he is probably one of my favorite horror characters that I like to cosplay as, so with my own spin, of course, on it. So if I see you guys out there and you see a Legion cosplay, I will be wearing a hoodie with spiked studs on it, so that's how you'll know it's me. I don't know what day I'm going to be attending, but of course I will let you all know in the future videos of what days I will be attending the Houston Horror Film Festival. I'm also hoping that I can make some connections too. Like, I don't even care if it's an indie film or a high film. Like, I really don't care at the end of the day. I just want to get my foot in the door. I would love to be able to show everybody what I'm capable of and be respected for it, as well as respecting the producers and, every other actor that's there, and making awesome connections with people. And, maybe that'll open other opportunities. So yeah, this workshop was actually in Tomball, of all places. It is a very weird area for a workshop, and for that matter, a production studio. I would have thought a production studio would have been in like downtown Houston, but no, this is actually in the suburbs out in Tomball, here in Houston. I figured if there's any way of being recognized, is trying to see if I can try to make some sort of connections with people and seeing what it is I need to do to pursue my career as an actor. So there are two individuals that brought this workshop together, two women, for a matter of fact, that have actually been working in the industry for quite a while. One of them is Hannah Rickert. Hopefully I'm saying that right. She congratulated that I didn't botch her name the first time when I met her, though she has done popular brands like Heineken, the alcohol, as well as Rolex, and she's been performing as well. Both these women have been averaging about 15 to 20 years into the industry. And then you also had Raquel Torres, which she has also done a lot of performing. I remember she said that she did a lot of film, performing within like films like The Hangover, the sequel to The Hangover anyway. I forgot what film she said that was. But these are real deal people, right? So these are people in high places that obviously have been in the industry for a while, and they're basically giving you a little bit of some tips and tricks on how to get your footing in the door in terms of being a either commercial actor or acting, voice actor, whatever it may be in general. Raquel was telling us that here in Houston specifically, there's a big market for commercial work, not so much acting, although it is still here. The industry is, in terms of commercial work, has moved to Houston from LA, it seems like. But she said the major areas that the industry seems to be shifting right now in terms of states is going to be like New Jersey, New York especially, which unfortunately New York is going to be a no-go for me because it's so damn expensive. Maybe I can try commercial work. It's not something I'm particularly interested in. However, I wouldn't mind doing it to get my foot in the door to open other opportunities and also refine my craft at the same time. But yeah, so they had two different types of, well, it's one workshop, but they had two different sections of the workshop. So you had on camera and then you had voiceovering. Or voiceover. I think where I shined the most was probably going to be my on-cam commercial practice. It was actually pretty fun and interesting to actually finally feel like I'm actually on a stage for once. So you go into this white room that literally looks like I don't even know how to describe it. Like when you go into this room, there is no corners. It's just a white cylindrical type of room. And so when you're looking off into the whiteness of this room, it literally looks like it goes down forever, even though it's super close. It's like a fog. It's like a really weird experience being inside of this camera production room. But yeah, we had a couple of scripts that we got to choose from, and I decided to do one in particular where I felt like I can kind of bring out my theatrical type of voice. But yeah, the on-cam section of the workshop was very enjoyable. I think that was probably the most fun that I had out of the workshop. I didn't really care too much of the voiceover stuff, but I did very much enjoy the on-cam stuff since that's where much my passion lies, was, well, obviously within the camera, right? But we had a series of scripts here that we got to choose from within the on-cam section of the workshop, and I decided to pick one in particular that resonated with me the most in terms of how I could act it out, essentially. And I kind of acted it in a way that was kind of more theatrical. Maybe that's not obviously what this script is meant for, but that's the thing, right? A lot of scripting, especially with commercial work, you got to try to find the audience that this script is geared towards, and then also replicate it in a way that the audience is going to resonate with what it is you're trying to sell them, essentially. Nobody's going to want a monotoned guy, obviously, in advertising that's just going, your commute just got an upgrade. City Wheels e-bikes go further, faster, and cleaner. That just sounds like shit, right? That's monotone crap. So you have to try to build a sort of way to communicate with your audience through what it is you're trying to sell them. And I don't mean to toot my own horn, but it feels absolutely amazing to be recognized for the work that you do. Honestly, I like it a lot. I'm not a narcissistic person by any means, but I do like, and I think anybody likes that, right? Anybody likes to be recognized for the work and the passion that they put into things. And when I was doing my script, my version of it, I actually had people pretty blown away by the third part. I think it was the third part that I did where Raquel was telling me to basically act like you're on the bike. Like, how would you react if you were on the bike and, you know, the camera's rolling, and how would you try to sell this to your grandmother? And so I kind of played out like, well, I have a video of, they're going to send it to me. I'm going to email Raquel just so that way I can actually get this video sent out for you guys. But she's going to email the video of both the voice actor and the voiceover, and as well as the on-cam section. And you guys are going to see how it looked on cam and how other people, you know, reacted to it, I hope. I don't know if the reactionary part is in there, but yeah, everybody was pretty impressed when I was acting like I was on the bike. I think I did something like, I don't know, the video will show it for itself. But I was like acting like I was like sweating and stuff, like I was really pushing myself on this bike and stuff. And it's really cool. It's really enjoyable being able to act those things out. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's like about bringing a piece of you into the script, right? Everybody's different. Everybody has their own personality, body language, what have you, and that's what makes us all unique in a way. I mean, there's literally experience that you can take from actors and then apply that to yourself with your own twist. I think there's one actor in particular that I actually admire the most is probably going to be James McAvoy. His performance in a lot of movies like Split, for example, are just phenomenal. The way that he can produce different personalities on the spot, as well as different facial expressions geared towards those different personalities, he nailed it, dude. Like, that kind of actor is what I aspire to be within my acting career if I ever get this to take off, which I don't know if it will, but obviously I got to start somewhere. And James McAvoy is just absolutely a phenomenal type of actor. And hopefully I'm saying his last name right. It's really hard to pronounce his last name. He's Scottish, so I don't know. As soon as we got out of the on-cam portion of the workshop, we went ahead and went over to the voiceover work. That's probably where I need the most help, it seems, because I talk like I'm talking to you guys right now. I talk like a YouTuber. I'm very monotone in my tone. And with voiceover work, it's a lot of having to adjust your tones very much. You're still reading a script, but there's no camera involved, and you have to bring out a tone which resonates with your audience and with what the script is telling you. I did an okay job, but I definitely felt the difference between on-cam and voiceover, surely. But yeah, here is a clip of me trying to do some of my voiceover work. Because when you're in front of a camera, you can actually kind of bring out your personality because it's like as if the camera is, an audience, right? It's easier for me, at least in any way, to bring out myself when I know I'm being watched versus not being watched. So like if you're just talking into a mic, for example, it just feels like it's a different realm. It's a different world. Like there was a couple of individuals in there that were having a hard time trying to do what's called a dry read, which is basically you don't bring anything at all in terms of your character into the script. You just try to read it as much as possible without stopping and keeping it very monotone, which that is something that I am very easily able to do just because I just have naturally a monotone type of voice. So I don't elevate my voice like I'm doing to you guys right now. A dry read is literally as you would imply of just pop the top, feel the fizz. Snap Fizz isn't just a soda, it's a party in a can. Available now in Mango, Lightning, and Cherry Blast. That's exactly what a dry read is. There is no tone to it. There is nothing. It's just flat. And these guys were trying to elevate their tones, trying to read it, so it was kind of throwing them off, which is kind of interesting. Everybody has their weaknesses that they got to refine, right? Mine, on the hand, was that I was just talking too monotone, and I couldn't figure out how to elevate my tones to where it sounded like it was natural. Like as if I was talking to a friend. So it is definitely something that I need to work on in terms of my voiceover work if I ever decide to, pursue more of that. And, for that matter, I'm always trying to refine my skills at any rate, whether in all aspects of acting, so to speak. So every day I'm either in the shower, talking to myself, trying to impersonate. I'm also trying to now start looking into the mirror a little more and actually trying to refine my facial expressions. Sometimes I'll be driving in the car talking to myself and acting as if there's somebody sitting in my passenger seat, and I'll do something creepy or smug, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. I guess that's my smug look, right? I'm like, that's a little overreactive, right? But I work on my facial work a lot when I'm just kind of alone in my own headspace, just trying to get home or something. So that's something I've been starting to work on more, is just my facial features, my facial work, I guess, trying to strengthen those muscles. Because the type of films that I would love to be a part of, it's probably going to be psychological horror. Because Raquel was even asking me, she's like, well, what kind of films are you like most interested in terms of the horror like thing? Like, is it psychological? I'm like, boom, you already nailed it. As soon as you said psychological, that's literally the exact type of genre of horror. I don't know if you would call psychological. I mean, some psychological films can be on the horror spectrum, but psychological films, kind of like Split, for example, are just my absolute favorite that I've seemed to gravitate the most towards. Psychological horror, I guess, if you will, is probably even better, I guess. I mean, if you watch films like Midsummer, Ari Aster is probably like one of my favorite directors. That's a perfect example of the types of films I wouldn't mind being a part of. I really enjoy the mind-fucking type of films that are both creepy, weird, and also like, what the hell did I just watch? I really like those films a lot. But again, I'm not going to close doors and opportunities and not say that I wouldn't try to do commercial work at the end of the day. I mean, if that's something that I can at least gravitate and move to other opportunities, I would love to do that. If there's anything I'm good at when it comes to acting, is it's actually a lot of impressions, voice acting for that matter, as well as a lot of facial expressions. As you guys can see, I'm kind of doing a lot of facial expressions as we speak, right? But it is a totally different environment once you actually get on camera and you have to read this script and try to present it in the same way that I'm talking to you with the same facial expressions. It is almost like a different realm or a different world. Even the gentleman that was trying to read some of these scripts was having a very hard time trying to not follow so much of a script, but actually trying to be natural. And that's exactly what they want you to be when it comes to a lot of commercial work, for that matter, is you need to try to present these scripts in a way that feels the most natural to you, where it's going to still be engaging to the audience. I feel like I've lost a lot of that touch, and I need to try to reel that part of my soul, I guess, back, because I feel like that's what I was designed to do. I was put here to do, was to make either people laugh or try to create some sort of art that people can resonate towards. I think at the end of the day, the type of art that I kind of want to put out there is the kind of art where I bring out a lot of the pain and the suffering that I've had within my own life and put that out onto the film, in terms of whether it be something very creepy, very morbid, it could even be disturbing, or it could be even something that people can resonate towards. I think that kind of darkness that I have built up with inside of me much of my life now, I kind of want to try to put that out onto how I act in terms of my personality. And, you know, I'm not saying I'm trying to bring my baggage necessarily to the environment, but a lot of people, a lot of good actors, I mean, musicians for that matter, like look at Chester from Linkin Park. Much of the music that he produced was literally a lot of his demons that he, you know, battled, and he just wrote about it in his lyrics and sang about it, right? And it's no different from an actor. I think what an actor, when he channels his inner emotions, is when they are the best actor. I could probably cry on cue so easily just from some of the shit that I've had to deal with in my life. So easily, I could do it within a blink of an eye, because all I have to do is just pull that part of my brain and literally just start crying because it was just such a hard time in my life. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do have a Discord too. I'm trying to rekindle that as well. So if you guys want to join the Discord, you can do that as well. But yeah, I'd like to hear what you guys think about what my experience was. I do have other plans of acting, as I mentioned in my previous video of my Leland Coyle acting impressions. I'm trying to do more animating too, contorting my body in really creepy movements. If that's something that interests you, I can showcase some of the things that even I kind of impress myself with how I can move my body in just very decrepit ways and shit like that. So if that's something that interests you, I'm probably going to start doing that here pretty soon as well, and just facial expressions within that same video as well. Just creepy shit. I might even make the lighting really like dark in here. This camera is a perfect example of really shitty lighting, right? I try to make it like this though for these videos, just because the warmer tone just feels more relaxing. Hopefully you guys aren't falling asleep now, but I feel like this type of lighting is a little bit better for commentating, but other people might not like it. I find a lot of commentators or a lot of YouTubers, they like to put too much light, which does, you know, depending on the video you're trying to make, if it's a lot more of a professional scripted type of video. I'm not really professional, not really scripted. I try to make my work professional, but I like to keep things very one-on-one with you guys, and just my environment is your environment, my mi casa tu casa type of shit, right? So yeah, anyways, I need to get the hell off this camera. So if you guys are looking forward to that, you can go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.